Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Max. Welcome to Cooking Class 101. All the ingredients that we're going to use today were literally frozen. I got them at my local specialty store, Jimmy's. I have a big bag of escarole. I took it out before I went and did all of my running around today, and it is frozen. Now, if I felt like it after I didn't work all day, I would probably wring those dry with a towel or paper towels before putting them in the pan to saute with olive oil and some garlic. And then we'll do a little bit of chicken stock, salt and pepper. That's really all they need. I worked all day, probably like most of you. So you don't always have to do it that way. What I'm going to do is throw these in the pan, turn on the heat, no olive oil yet, and I'm going to let the heat just start to evaporate some of this water. Once it kind of starts to stick in some areas, put a little bit of olive oil there and continue to cook the water out. Okay. Do what she said. I don't think I need to fight to get that last little bit out because it's just me and my husband eating these. Now, if we don't eat all of these, what I will do with the leftover is I'll probably throw them in a soup. So that's a lot of water that has to cook out. And there's even a little bit of still some frozen ice in there. So while that is going, I have some frozen calamari and some ice water. I am going to do those very last because you're either going to give those a quick flash fry or let them like kind of stew slow and low so that they don't get too chewy. The last time I used these calamari, I cooked a gumbo, and this time I am going to top some calamari, probably with a little bit of this sauteed onion that I have left over and a little bit of garlic and olive oil. I'll top that. And you know what? I have a little bit of leftover champagne that I'm not going to drink. I'll probably give it a splash of that, a little butter, and that will be my topping for my frozen flounder. These were individually wrapped. They are so thin. So I got several of these out. I'm going to cut them open, blot them dry, and I'm going to bake these today. So this is a recipe that anybody should be able to do. Let's get started. I'm going to cut open my fish, blot them dry, spray them with a little bit of olive oil, rosemary, and granulated garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and pop them in the oven at 325 for probably about 20 minutes. Something else I'm going to do is I'm going to give these a quick rinse. Ooh, I already caught that one. Oh, that just got fish juice all over my towel. Give them a quick rinse, put them aside until we're ready to blot them dry so that they can soak up some seasoning. And I do like to do this with anything that I get, like frozen fish. I like to give it a good rinse. Okay, so there's my fish rinsed. I'm going to go like this. Try to get a lot of that water off. Make sure you don't cook any of your paper towel. You can also use a regular towel if that's all you have. And I'm going to season it directly. You can do this really any way you wanted. What I do stay away from, and I encourage you to as well, is that lemon pepper seasoning that comes already mixed up. That and Cajun seasoning and any type of seasoning that comes already blended, I stay away from them because they're so full of sodium. And in my book, I recommend some basic staple seasonings. So now that these are blotted dry, I'm going to try to fit them in all in here so that I don't have to dirty a second pan. So let's season them up with a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic, and rosemary. And then I'll drizzle some olive oil on, kind of flop them around. And we will cover them and put them in the oven. All right, little salt, little pepper, little bit of garlic, and rosemary. Where's my rosemary? There you are. I don't have any fresh herbs today, so I would really love to do a caprese salad, but I don't have any fresh basil. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just season up my tomatoes with balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and then put it with some burrata. Easy. Okay, I sprayed these, gave them a little flip so they get seasoning a little bit on both sides, and sprayed the pan. Now I'm going to cover it with this foil and pop it in the oven. Let's start out with 20 minutes at 325. That should be good. Okay, don't forget to set your timer. So while the fish are cooking, look at this. All that water is coming out. So you don't want to put your olive oil in yet because it's just going to create an oily, watery mix. And you want these greens to be able to get your seasoning. So what you can do while the greens are boiling all the water out, chop your garlic and get it minced, ready to throw in near the end of those greens with some olive oil. See, there's one. Give it a nice smash. Your peel comes right off. And this is a lot of greens, so I think I am going to do this whole thing. I usually have a little garbage bowl over here, but I don't today. I got my nice big flat knife. I use this for so many things. The only knives that you really need are one with teeth for steak and tomatoes, stuff like that, and then this one for everything else. And then, of course, I have my mandolin. The mandolin just is so perfect for onions and making sure everything's the same size. It saves you a lot of time. All right, that's kind of giving me a hard time, so get all this peel out of the way and just give it a quick smash. And that peel should come off real easy for you. See that? Make sure you're not buying the garlic that's in a jar already cut up, because that just gets really bitter and you will get a headache. Garlic continues to give off antioxidants. So you can usually let it hang out once it's smashed for about 45 minutes to reach its highest potential, is what I read. I usually don't ever have that kind of time. And if you're working or just hungry, you probably don't have that time either. So whatever it ends up being is going to be just fine. All right, see how nice it is? Now just run your knife through it. And this will be good for the greens. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's check on our greens. A lot of that water has come out. I'm going to go like this and try to get as much of it out as I can. All right. Just so it doesn't stick and completely dry it out, I'm going to add my olive oil now. Give it a good drizzle, especially around the sides and in the center. Better already. Okay, now I'm going to make a little bed for my olive oil and garlic to go. And I'm going to reduce my heat so I don't burn my garlic. You never want to burn your garlic. All right, put it in there so you can keep an eye on it. You will smell this hit the air and go poof. If you start to get nose blind, take a step outside, turn your heat down, and walk away from your food so that you can come back in and really smell everything. But garlic and olive oil is my perfume, my passion, and it will definitely get everybody up out of their seats And they'll come in and they'll want to start tasting your food, what you're cooking, because it's so good. There it is. Oh, so good. So let that just continue to soften up on low. And then we'll give it a little splash of some chicken stock and a little bit of salt and pepper. And that is done, my friends. That easy. Oh, I don't know if that recorded. I just put some chicken stock in and just let it cool off. Hopefully you got that. Okay, on low. Now let's go strain our calamari, and we're going to put it in a little pan and give it a little bit of a flash fry. Okay, let's just not make this complicated. Plus, I don't feel like dirtying any more dishes. I'm going to take it right from my pan and kind of drop it in. Got an ice cube in there. Get that ice cube out. This is easy. Not so bad. And these are just going to go on top of our fish, just for something extra to eat, a little bit more protein and a little bit more flavor. Now the question is, should I do them the same as the rosemary or something different? There's so many different ways. I am going to keep it simple because not a lot of things go well paired with that rosemary that we already have on our fish. So I am going to use some garlic flavoring, the garlic powder, olive oil, salt, pepper, and I'm going to give it a splash of the champagne and a little bit of butter. And that's it. Now, you know, cooking is really just like whatever you're in the mood for. What do you have on hand? I turned these on without adding the olive oil yet because they were wet and I didn't blot them dry. I have a little bit of this onion that my husband had from last night. He used the mean one. I am going to add these to this because I like onion. If you don't like onion, skip this part. But why waste it? I'm afraid it will get dried out if I don't use it, and it will be good. So I did that. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this garlic flavoring on it. Garlic flavoring. Why do I keep saying that? It's garlic powder. I wish it was granulated garlic, but it's not. I don't have that. I'm going to put some pepper. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And a different spoon because I don't want to mix the calamari with my greens, just in case I use those for another dish. And about a spoon of butter. All right. Yummy. I don't think it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have like a little bit of rosemary in this too, but I'm not going to do it because rosemary can become very potent and there's already rosemary on the fish. So this will just be a little bit of a contrast. And we're going to have just a little bit of sauce. So I just want that to soften up. Got my heat on high. Go ahead and do a splash of, you can do white wine. You can even do red wine. I'm going to do a splash of this. If I can get it open. Ugh. Champagne. Pretty. And a splash of the chicken stock. There. Now that will become a really nice sauce on top of our fish. Yummy. That could even go good on top of the greens, really. Here's my burrata. I have one ball left. That's the creamy, it's almost like a mozzarella, really creamy. Most of the lactose has been processed out of this. So if you are not lactose tolerant, burrata is the cheese for you. I have a couple of these tomatoes. I'm going to chop these up and season them with olive oil and a little bit of, I think I'm going to go with balsamic glaze. It's so much sweeter than the regular balsamic vinegar. And that's just going to be a very good side dish, high in protein, so it's sexy and healthy. All right, here's my burrata. I want you to see what it looked like. So pretty. Soft in the middle. I'm going to put that over here in my bowl. Let it hang out. And I'm going to cut these tomatoes using my knife with the teeth. All right, and I want these to be pretty big, so I'm going to quarter them. Just like that. Can't wait for summer when I'm getting all the farm fresh produce. Oh, I can't wait to make the peppers and oil that I make from them. All right, so just let's scoop that into our dish. Lovely. Let me clean up my cutting board. Okay, my timer just went off. When you dress these, do the balsamic vinegar right before you're ready to eat them. I'm just going to lightly salt it. And I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. And I just tasted my greens, and they are not garlicky enough for me. Look at that. Pretty already. We don't always have basil. It's okay. That will be delicious. This will also be good with every bite of your greens and your fish. Now, I hit my greens pretty heavily with some garlic powder, and I'm going to maybe give them just a little bit more olive oil. I'm even going to put a little bit of onion powder and some more salt because I tasted them and they needed it. They just taste very bitter. I don't know if that's because they were frozen and maybe there's a lot of stem in there with it. Probably. I never got my greens frozen before, but my husband thought he was doing something great for me and he got these for me. So I'm going to try to make them taste great. Maybe a little bit more chicken stock. All right. Okay, what did I say I was going to do next? Oh, onion powder. Hey. Huh?
That's not starting again.
Oh.
That gives us time to eat, though.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Welcome. You want to get us forks?
Place up here.
Oh, I can put it on the table. I have the fish in the oven. I was trying to show people an easy way to do this, but the more I try to teach people something, it's like now I'm doing it all out of order and I'm fucking everything up. Okay, Alexa, stop timer. Now I went ahead and turned these off, kind of got out of sequence, and I'm going to let some of this butter melt in here just to try to thicken this up just a little bit more. But it's fine. We'll just kind of use a spoon and just get a little bit of this sauce. But as long as there's some sticking to the calamari and onion, that's our topper. Yummy. Okay, I think just a little bit more pepper on that. Okay, time to plate, friends. Let's come over here. Let's check out our fish. Looks good. Yep. All right. Let me get a plate. Okay, Italian greens. I fell over and broke my fish. Jesus. Voila. Let's top it with a little calamari and you're done. All right, there you have it. Easy baked fish. What is it? Flounder, Italian greens, and calamari with a champagne butter sauce. Bon appetit. Okay, let's taste it. This is my favorite part because it's like pizza. Low carb pizza. Charlie, you're in my seat. Can I sit there? Let's just taste it and see how I did because it's not easy to cook and teach and record. And I was hungry. I tried to take a lot of shortcuts. That's good. Easy. Hello, Jamie Sina, author of Sina's Sexy Suppers and Soups.